What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the shop. For today's project, we got a nice heavily figured piece of sugar maple. We got a lot going on in here. I can definitely see some curling. We got what appears to be a little bit of burl figuring, but we also have this here large bark inclusion. Could make for a pretty interesting piece. Let's see if we can make something cool out of this. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do to get this prepped up is we're going to get this piece stabilized. We're going to be using the TotalBoat High Performance Slow. So I'll get this all wrapped up. I'm probably just going to use some tape, make sure it all seals it in. And we'll do a little resin pour on here to stabilize this piece. I'm not even entirely sure how much of this would even be utilized in the finished piece, but why not allow for all the possibilities that we can. So I'll get this prepped up, we'll do a little pour, pick up from there. Alright guys, got it all wrapped up. I had to knock the corners off so I could get it in the pressure pot, but I think we're about ready to pour this. Alright guys, so I'll be doing a little bit more talking on this one just because I'm excited to introduce you guys to a cool little handy tool we will be offering on the Duka Heritage site and adding to the line of Duka Heritage tooling. So we have a pretty standard blank kind of scenario here. We got our center line marked up. Obviously we've already taken care of our voids there. And I'm going to get this set up to go onto the circle cutting jig. So that's where we're going to start. I'm just going to get a nice pilot, make sure we stay on center. And my circle cutting jig uses a 1/4 inch dowel, so we'll be stepping that up to a 1/4 inch hole. Don't need to go too deep, just enough to engage the dowel. Now we're going to take you on over to the bandsaw. Alright, so we're over here at the bandsaw. And now typically if you're going to be running anything like this, circle cutting jig or just any kind of piece of stock like this, you're going to want to maximize the amount of material that's usable for your final piece. So measured out about 5 inches from our center to the absolute edge. So these are stepped out 1 inch. We're going to get our dowel set. And now it will maintain our center line on the jig. I have a little mark here so I can see where center is. That's where I'm just going to run my blade up to. So let's adjust, guide down, put a little extra tension on here. Let's get this guy circleized. Alright, so now we're going to be using one of our Duka Heritage face plates here. And I could totally just try and eyeball this up to the center line. But inevitably, the taper in the sides, if you don't land your screw absolutely perfectly true, it's going to pull this around. So I introduced to you, this is an alignment tool to be used with our face plates here. It actually has a couple of uses that I'll be showing throughout this video. What we're going to do is just run this down in there. And now we have a tapered point, almost like a live center, coming down through the bottom. So now we have positive engagement with our center line plug hole that we use for our dowel. And now that's going to keep our faceplate locked in place while we run our screws in. Just a little pressure from the top. Run them on in. All right. Now we just walk this guy back out, and if it gets tight, that's why we have the hex head on here. This is actually set up for the 1¼ by 8 TPI plates. This is a 1-inch box end wrench size. Also, you could use a adjustable wrench, you know, whatever works. But now we are dead center and true to our initial center line from the circle cutting jig. So let's get this mounted. All right, before we get started here, guys, I just want to give a big thank you to Erick Hill. They sent us some moisture meters to try out. We have a sensor type and a pin type. For this project, I think we're going to be running with the sensor type because we're a little more concerned with moisture content on the inside. So I'm going to get this unboxed. Take a look at what we're working with. Batteries included, that's always a plus. And a nice little storage bag, also a plus. Has multiple modes. Got softwood mode, wall, hardwood, and masonry. So we're going to get this set to hardwood, give her a shot, see where we're at. It's looking like somewhere in the center, maximum moisture content. It's looking like 11 or so. All right, let's get this straightened out, start profiling our edge. Alright guys, I just want to point out that for those of you that don't have a secondary fixturing option, like a jam plate kind of setup or a vacuum chuck, you really don't have a way to clean up the bottom other than just parting it off and doing it manually. So this is kind of where a faceplate shines. As you can see, we get our mortise cut in there with no tailstock support. We're just mounted on the faceplate. And you got to be conscious and make, you know, easy cuts and make sure you don't put too much energy into the piece, but obviously doable. Alright guys, so we got our outside shape worked in pretty well. Got a pretty nice cut on that. Now it's time to flip-flop this around. We're going to get it on the chuck, and we're going to be using our tool again. So as many of you guys know, every time you change your fixturing, you got to worry about your center line, or else that nice, you know, pretty close to finished cut is going right out the window, because now we have to re-square the whole piece. So we're going to get this started. Back up on the spindle. We're going to run our centering tool back up into the faceplate. You don't have to go super tight, but just make sure that it's buried into the piece. Get a little tension in on those threads. And we'll bring our tailstock up. And use that centering plug to keep us nice and straight. And we'll come in here, set our chuck, and then we should be able to remove our plate, and we should be pretty good and square. Alright guys, so we got this spun around now. We're all lined up. We should have a pretty good center line here. Now, walking it all the way back to the beginning, we drilled a 1/4 inch hole for our circle cutting jig. Now we should be able to walk our live center straight into that hole. If for any reason the faceplate was pulled off center, so now our piece would be turned off center from the hole that we had originally drilled, there's almost no way to get that back. You have to turn past it, and then you can reset your live center. But since we kept and maintained our center line, this should walk right on in there. And it does. Nice fit. Maintaining our center, maintaining our concentricity all the way throughout. Good stuff. Let's get to hollowing. Contact. is done. Let's go check it out. All right, guys. Well, here she is, loaded with natural beauty. We got a little bit of everything in this piece. We got bark inclusions. We got some beautiful curling. We got a little bit of burl figuring here on the outside. Even got ourselves a little window to go a peek on through. Really happy with this piece. And you know, we're always searching for heavily figured stuff, trying to bring out the natural beauty of all these pieces. So I really hope you guys enjoy this one. Big thank you to Erick Hill for sending out the moisture meters. Very straightforward and simple use. Worked out very well for this application, and we will be using their stuff in the future. There will be a discount code in the description of this video if you guys are interested in checking their stuff out. Also, you will find discount codes for the TotalBoat products as well as the Starbond stuff if you're interested in picking up any of that. Help yourself out with a little bit of a discount, and you're helping the shop out as well. So I would really appreciate that. Also, very happy to be bringing you guys the newest piece of tooling on the Duka Heritage store site. These are available on dukaheritage.com. These will be available individually as well as bundles with faceplates in the 1.25" by 8 TPI as well as the 1 by 8 TPI. So please do go check them out. Also, yeah, I almost forgot. We have a winner for the Tung Wax Kit giveaway. Hubert Hicks 9080. You are the winner of that kit. Shoot me an email over at dukaheritage@gmail.com and send me your information. I will make sure you get that kit. Other than that, I think that is all for now. See you on the next one. I love you guys.